What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Dadgood Community Spotlight. And this week, we couldn't be more jazzed than to introduce our main man, Woody Klemetson. My dude, he's the CEO of Ask Elephant. He's a father. He's showed major interest towards the community. And so today, we want to dive a little bit deeper, go beyond the post, and learn about what your home team is like, what building this empire with Ask Elephant is like, and everything in between. So, my man Woody, come on. And welcome to the show, dude. I love it, dude. I love it. So it feels pretty on base to first, because I honestly don't know. Tell me about your home team, bro. Who's in the house? Tell me about your family. What's the squad like?
Well, we'll start off with the kids because that's what this is all about, right? That's
Right.
Good call. Good call.
We segue pretty frequently, but yeah, we could at least start with the kids for
Sure.
sure.
I got three amazing boys. I have an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 5-year-old. They're all full-blown gingers, so like where we have no idea where it comes from.
Let's go.
Like they're red hair, dark, like beautiful blue eyes, eyelashes are red. My wife has brown hair. I have brown hair. So they're demon spawns. I don't know where they came from. And then I got my wonderful wife. We've been married almost 15 years now. So, and we've been kicking it. We've gone through ups and downs, just like all of us have.
For sure.
And it's been awesome. And
Bro.
literally nothing better than being having kids.
I love that, man. I love that.
Woody, what are the ages, real quick? Sorry. What are the
It
ages?
was 11, 9, and 5.
Any sports going on in the house?
Any sports?
Yeah.
My middle child's into sports.
Yeah.
But my 11-year-old, the oldest, I had so many cool experiences we can dive into.
Yeah.
He is a full-blown addict into theater.
Cool.
My God, that's what I went to college for, dude. I'm a theater major. Let's go.
You would be like it is his passion. He loves it. When he was 10, just turned 10, maybe it was when he was 9, he said, "Dad, I know why you work so much." He's like, you're just there having fun. And so right now, to be 11 years old, he's on, like, he gets paid to be in performances now. So like he's
What?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
That's
All
sick.
right.
It's awesome. So I have a working man in the house.
I think to that point there, that's extremely powerful what you just said. The fact that your 11-year-old recognizes your hard work at such a young age. I feel like kids don't really connect that point of like parents working hard until a little bit later in life. So to see that in an 11-year-old is extremely powerful because you don't hear about that very often. I love that you said that. That's a really cool point. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Sounds like you're a good dad.
Go figure, right? My man Woody.
No,
Yeah, I love
I
it.
tell you, I'm trying. I don't know if I never hit every pitch, but I'm sure swinging.
No, for sure. Well, look, dude, I think that you bring a really unique perspective to the show because, like, look, my girls are 4 and 5. Charles, you got a whole slew of children up to 5. But, like, how old is your oldest, Charles?
Mine's 9. Mine's 9. So I
Okay,
had
9, and then
7, 5, 3, 5 months. So I got a whole just.
You guys were on a cadence.
no, that's
every 2
what I
years is-
mean. So, like, and I know Guy, he's got Enzo, and then he just had baby Nico. But
Yeah.
Woody's kind of bringing a whole new perspective of like that 11 age cap and above. And so I kind of want to dig a bit deeper into that. Like, first of all, Woody, can you share any experiences just through fatherhood, dadgood, if you will, where you notice this like line in the sand of, dang, this is not like a kid anymore. Like we're having real conversations. You're coming to me about like real world. I can see that you're growing to a point where you get it. And like, was that bonkers to you? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think the first thing to recognize is every kid is different. Like,
Yeah.
my oldest, he's an old soul, and like he actually appreciates it when we call him that. And so when it was wild. It blew my mind the first time he asked me a hard question that I was like, I actually don't know the answer to this or how I want to answer this. He was 6 years old. And he straight up asked, he asked about like some stuff was going on. We're pulling out of Israel, or not Israel. We're pulling out of like Iraq and Afghanistan. We're pulling out.
Okay.
Like all this stuff was happening and all the Christians were super scared. And so he was just kind of curious about like, so we were like, it brought up, he's 6 years old or 7, whatever, whenever that happened. Like, and I was like, and so he's like, well, this is what they believe. Like, they don't believe what we believe. And he's like, well, which one's true, Dad? And I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm like,
Dang, son.
This is what they believe. And he's like, no, Dad, you need to tell me which one's true. And I'm like, I can't, bro. Like, I can just tell you what I believe. And it's a journey that every single one of us goes on. And like, so, I got to share my beliefs. But like, I was like, I can't just, I don't want to tell these kids like that I have it all figured out when I don't. I'm just doing my best, just like all of us.
No, for sure.
That was the first time I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're 6?
We're getting into real dialogue here. But no, that's fire, man. Like, look, my 6-year-old, I don't know if you guys have tuned in. Like, there's this show on Netflix. What's it called? The Chosen One. It's like a really dope story of like Jesus and like all the disciples. And me and my missus, we be watching it. But my 6-year-old has been coming to me with some pretty heavy hitter questions where you're like, whoa, man. Like, I don't know how to answer that. I could give you my interpretation, but I believe that it's up to everybody, including you, to like figure out the road on your own. So I think that that's wild, man. That's wild because as they get older, they're going to hit you with the hitters, dude, for sure.
And sometimes the easy answer is just to tell them your truth, but you're like, that's not what you want to teach your kids. You're wanting to teach your kids how to figure out their truth. And it was, it was one of those big hitters. And a couple weekends ago, he was going through that normal experience we all go through where we have that imposter syndrome. He's like, he's getting these bigger acting gigs. And he's like, Dad, are they just telling me I'm good to make me feel good? He's like, am I actually good? Or are they just telling me that? And I was like, one, we've all felt that.
Yeah.
And so,
straight yesterday, I felt that. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, that doesn't go away.
No, it never is going to. And so I flat out said, I said, well, one, have I ever lied to you? And he's like, I don't think so. I'm like, well, did I ever tell you Santa was real? And he's like, no, you always just asked me what I believed and supported that. I said, correct. I'm never going to lie to you, kid.
I like that.
Drove my wife crazy because I would never get onto the Santa story. They would ask me questions like, well, what do you believe? And they're like, can do reindeers fly? I'm like, what do you believe? I'm like, sweet, dude. That's awesome. I believe.
That's why he's a hell of a salesman. That's where the CEO ship started is that's some salesman mentality. Like, how can I flip this and ask an open-ended question?
Can I afford this? I don't know. Can you?
That's a great question.
Yeah, man, I think you can.
And like, that's where it's like, so dude, there's things you need to work on. You're not the best at everything. You got to work hard. And now he's a working man. Like he gets home at 11 o'clock 3 times a week, like doing these stuff. And it's like, and that's where I just, once they get to once they find their things that they are passionate about, they're not just doing it because you signed them up for rec league. That's it's like, if I don't want to just, I'm going to talk about it. That's when you start seeing like a stronger personality. You start seeing a man. You start seeing where it's like, this is you.
Gosh, that's so cool. That's so cool, man. Charles B. I'm a girl dad. They're going to have their own avenue, but certainly from that manship progression, that's what you guys got to look forward to, dude. That's so fun.
No, and Woody, I think you made a really powerful point there where you're talking about your son making his choices and figuring out what he wants to do. I remember from personal experience when I was a kid. So I was born in Brazil. I moved here when I was 2. So naturally, soccer is what I should have played, right? That's just the sport that is a part of my nation. And when we moved to the US, as I got a little bit older, like through elementary school, all my friends were playing sports and my parents didn't believe in sports. They just believed in working hard and like, that's it. And I wanted to play sports and they weren't really into it, which is fine. But I remember without even asking, my mom signed me up for soccer. Dude, I tried soccer for like 6 hours and I quit after the first day. And it's not because I was being lazy. It was because I was like, I don't like soccer. It's not for me. And then naturally through like growing up in the neighborhood, we'd play stickball out in the street and play wiffle ball. And I was like, wow, I really love baseball. And from a young age, I started playing, and my dad was a massive supporter. My dad was like, wow, if this is what you want to do, he's like, I'm going to push you to do it. It was like the first time that I really made my own first decision. It was cool. I didn't have to be forced to play soccer anymore. No offense, Chris. I know you love soccer, but
I do.
and
Hey,
to
but
my
I get
people,
it.
I'm so sorry to my people. It just wasn't for me. It was cool that my dad like pushed me to do what I actually wanted to do, and
Well,
forced me
I'm
to play.
curious on how did your parents help you realize like that comparison of my people play this sport and I'm not like my people? Was that hard? Because that's one thing my kid's going through right now is he's like all the boys my age like sports and I love theater. And like that comparison is hard that I think we all deal with. So how did your parents help you through that when
But
you weren't being a cool kid playing soccer? You were doing the all-American sport where we don't even watch it on TV. We just like go there and eat a dog and drink a beer.
dude, it was so
Right.
weird. I think it was a massive cultural shock too. When my parents moved here, everything was totally different. They left their lives behind there. And it was strange because at the time, my parents didn't speak a lick of English. I had to like interpret at Little League, like, oh, dad, it's like this much money. I remember he went out and bought me like a Louisville Slugger that was like $50 at Olympia Sports. And I thought I was a dog, like having this little crappy aluminum bat. But I don't know. It was just my dad just really knew that I loved baseball from a young age. And even though he didn't speak a lick of the language and couldn't speak to any of the other parents, he was just there because he knew that I genuinely enjoyed it. And it was like looking back now, coolest thing ever because I can see videos like we saw one the other day in Little League. I hit like a Little League inside the park home run and got tagged out like right before I got to home. My parents are cheering in Portuguese. All the other parents around are all screaming in English. My parents have no idea what's going on. They just see me running around the bases like a madman. They don't know anything about baseball. It's just now as a parent, I can like see why my dad bought in so early because it just brought me joy. And I think that's all that matters, even though they had no idea. Even till today, me and my dad will sit down and we're actually going to the Red Sox game next week. And we'll be mid-game. My dad's like, what just happened? I'm like, oh, dad, the guy got walked. Like, it was a balk. I don't know. And he's like, I don't know what that means, but cheers. And we just have a beer. You know what
We're
I mean?
having a
So,
great time.
yeah. Yeah. No,
That's
but
cool.
I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to if you're a good parent, you're going to support your child no matter what they want to do. And I think that's super powerful. So I love that you brought that up.
I love
No,
that.
for sure. Well, I mean, look, dude, I'm a theater geek. I did theater from middle school onwards, and I won't lie, middle school kind of like terrible with respect to people that would look at me, and then certainly when I got into high school. And so I think it kind of just trails back to what Guy was saying is that, dude, if your home team supports you and that's kind of your foundation or your catalyst for progression, like nothing else matters, man. And, outside of a few scenarios that I recall where I was kind of getting like picked on for being a theater kid, it was obviously a predominantly female type of industry or class, but they pale in comparison to the memories that I have of like, yo, I was living the life. I was doing what I love. I was on stage. Like, this is fire, bro.
Chris,
So,
I'm gonna tell you something that may upset you. I went to a middle school it was a drama middle school. It just so happened. So in my region where I grew up, there was four middle schools. One was like more technology inclined, and then it just so happened that the one that was in my district that I was so close to was the Susan B. Anthony School for the Arts. So it's not like they forced every kid to take theater or drama, but that was a part of the like an extracurricular activity that you could take after school, but they really push plays every like I forget what not semester, but you know what I mean. Like when you're a kid,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
quarters,
Into
whatever
like
it is.
a spring and a fall showcase or whatever.
Yeah. Like when the like progress reports, report cards come out, but every time one would come out, there was a play that they would host at the end of like every 2 months. And I remember after school, if you were a part of theater, you would stay and then you would practice for hours and rehearsal. And then at the end of the quarter, whatever it was, they would put on a giant show in the auditorium and all the families and parents would show up. The only one that I participated in was like the Revolution, and I was like one of the Minutemen, like throwing like snowballs or like rocks at whoever the heck was in the show. But dude, it was sick because it wasn't like a strange thing in my middle school. Like everyone did theater and it was so cool. I got to hang out with all different types of kids. But yeah, like
love that, man. I love
wish
that.
you went
Yeah.
there. Wish you got
I
to go to
wish
my
I
middle
went
school.
there too. Shoot, that was not the same where I was at, bro. Southern California's standard charter high school. Like, bro, come on, man. I was getting that side eye. That's hilarious, dude.
No, it was sick. It was sick. You got
What
to.
do you, my
I got
man?
to.
I want to ask. Sorry, Guy.
No, go ahead.
You're in Utah, right? Have you always been out in Utah, or like what's kind of that lineology been like? Get in.
I've taken a couple years to go travel the West Coast. Lived in Denver, Oregon, Washington, Arizona. Haven't gone too far out. Met my wife when I was here. I was 19 when I met her. Got married when I was 20.
I love that.
And we've been together forever. But that's like Utah's been great. I keep coming back. The tech scene here is amazing. The like mountains, unreal. Like I can go be in the desert hunting for arrowheads. I can go up in the mountains and be in snow within the same 3 hours. Like everything is here. It's amazing.
Dude, that's the best. My dad, I'm not sure if he was born in Utah, but I know he spent a fair amount of his childhood in Utah. And so even as a kid, we've gone out and just kind of did all the touristy stuff and explored the landscape. And so Utah's in my pocket. Like I'm a big fan of the state. And so that's cool. You made it back home.
Yeah. I heard that Utah is like the soda capital of the US. Is that a thing? I heard that there's some like cool soda spots in Utah. I don't know if that's a real thing.
I would not be shocked if it was true.
Okay.
We have soda shops like most places have coffee shops. So Seattle coffee shops, we have our soda and cookie shops. We know how to do sugar.
Cool.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it.
You get yourself a crumble, go to
Don't even bring that up. We just had dinner an hour and a half ago. My wife's sitting there. I'm like grilling chicken outside. She's like, you know what sounds really good tonight? I'm like, what? She's like, crumble. And I'm like, honey, don't even get me started on crumble. And then I start looking at the list. Their lineup is fire this week. And I'm like, nah, I can't do it. You can go. I'm out.
Don't do it to me.
No,
that's funny. Woody, my man, I'm going to do a gentle segue is because I want to get into a little bit of Ask Elephant. But what I'm primarily keen to like hear your feedback on is, bro, you're a CEO. You're obviously a part of building an empire that is now like a really prominent sales tool, especially on the platforms that most of us hooligans are on and we're focusing on. So, but before we get knee deep into Ask Elephant, talk to me about what it's like being a dad and a husband, and you got your home team, but at the same time, like running this empire, and you're probably stressed out of your mind. You're trying to scale this bad boy. You're trying to like every day you're going back to the books and going, should we pivot here? Or, where can we put all this energy? What does that world for you look like? Because honestly, man, I'm like super inspired, and anything like that is just so impressive to me because I know what it's like not being a CEO and still trying to like take care of my home team, but show up at work at the same time. And that stuff is bonkers, even at that capacity. So talk to me about that, man.
I think there's a lot of areas where we can dive into it. I think the most important one that I focus on is just being super, super purposeful. Like every single thing that I'm doing and the time that I'm focusing on has purpose. So today, like I was up at 5 a.m., got in my PT time, I'm working my way back after an injury. My wife woke up early and she came and walked on the treadmill where I'm down, when I was downstairs just doing boring PT stuff. And then, so it's like I hung out with my wife this morning. I got to I knew my oldest told his crush last night that he had a crush on her. And so like he had a big night last night and I wasn't there because I was at the office till midnight. And so so I know I missed out on that last night, which I missed out. And like that was something that he went through. And so I woke him up. I was like, dude, I'm not going to work till I hear what happens. Like I want
Let's go.
part of that. And so really that's like the general principle is just being purposeful. And it's easy to say, but it's actually really, really hard to do. There are constant distractions and constant things that are pulling us away. And so you have to be very, very mindful to say no to everything except the single thing that you're focusing on.
Yeah. Do you set like blockers in your day, or if it is a normal day, like I can imagine midnight is you at the office every day. So like, are you strict to your calendar and your regimen to make sure that you're prioritizing all those different kind of modules of your life?
Yes. And my family also changes their life to make it so that we can do it.
Dope.
The first thing is building a startup and doing something that's special. If you're trying to do something that no one else is doing, you got to do some things that no one else is. So like
Yeah.
we have to be different. So if we want to do something different, be different. Mondays and Thursdays, my wife and I have clear expectations that I work late. So I usually come home between midnight and 2 a.m. for me personally. They know that's when the executive meetings is Monday nights. So we work late Monday nights. That's just what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And so like people start trickling out of the office. Most companies, they're trickling out around 4. Mine, they start trickling out around 8:30, 9 on Mondays and Thursdays. Now, Tuesdays and Thursdays or like, dude, those are your kid days. Like you need to make sure that you're going in and being purposeful with your kids. Tomorrow's back to school day. So I got off at 5:30, met my kids at Chili's. We had a little dinner. We came home, jumped on a podcast. Like we'll be done here. And you can juggle everything, but it's just about really, really being purposeful for that.
Yeah.
Another example is last night. It's my kids' first day of like the back to school night where you go meet the teachers. And I was like, I want to be there. So my middle kid, I went there, I hung out with him, took him to ice cream, and then I went back to work. But so I took an hour break to hang out with my kid. And when he thinks of his childhood, doesn't think, oh, dad wasn't there. It was like dad was present when he was there for those impactful moments.
Nah, dude, I love that.
Now, this is one
I
thing
love
that's important. And this went a little long, but my wife and kids know that I work late Monday, Thursdays. I like having dinner with my family. Whoever says they can't come to me. So at least once a week, my family comes to me. I take a 15, 20-minute break. I eat dinner with my kids. Then they go home and I go back to work.
I love that, dude.
It doesn't have to be home in the office. They can come to the office. Why not?
That's also a really good point too.
My family.
Do you have is it a far commute like from where you guys live to your office, or what does that kind of look like?
It's about 25 minutes, 20 minutes without traffic. So it just depends.
Okay.
They're out and about anyways, like whatever they're doing. So sometimes it's all of them. Sometimes it's just, my wife. Sometimes it's one of the others. Once a month, I buy dinner for every family, and they like come into the office. Our wives get to know each other, our spouses.
What? That's dope.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
And it's like we're not looking for work-life balance separation. We're looking for how to make life alignment and how to make it so that we're doing it together. And I think once you do that, like my wife makes sacrifices, she works hard, and it's with me. And we change the way we do trips. We change the way that we do vacations. We change the ways that we spend date nights, and how we schedule everything is just that purposeful.
No, that's fire, man. And I think so. You're purposeful, you're intentional, but also I think to the satisfaction of you being able to build this empire that is Ask Elephant is, man, you're disciplined. Is that there's a couple of non-negotiables along the line, inclusive of, hey, I need to hang out with my family, but even just the grassroots of, on Monday, on Wednesday, or whatever the days, I'm staying late. Like, set the expectation. This is what I'm holding myself accountable to. And bro, I think that's kind of the magic, like the grassroots of any relationship, whether it's between you and your wife or you and your entire family, inclusive of your kids, is the communication portion. With the lack of communication, that's where like the nagging and the arguments start. And so I think that you really nailed it, dude, in just how you kind of tee up what your agenda for the week looks like. And I mean, dude, the Dad Good tagline is win at home, win at life. And I really think that you're kind of a walking example of that because you're prioritizing both and showing that you could be successful at both. You got to sacrifice a little bit. I'm sure there are times where you're just tired as all heavens, but that's kind of the name of the game, right? And so I think that's super cool to hear.
And then
Especially as, you know,
I think one point to that, and thank you for sharing it. And it's interesting because, running your own business, you meet people at all different sorts of walks of life. Like I do too now. Building Dadgood, you meet dads from all over the place. And it's funny because you come across some people that work extremely hard and their mentality is, hey, I'm going to work hard now so that way I can enjoy it later. But to what expense, right? Maybe leave your families off to the side. You don't give them as much attention. And you literally are proving right now that you can do both. You can work extremely hard. You can put a lot of time and effort into something that you're building, but you're not sacrificing the most important thing in your life, which is your family. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that will last forever is your family. Companies come and go. You can, like, you started a company that's doing really well. If, like, God forbid something happened and you had to do it all over again, I'm sure you could figure it out and you do it all over again.
no
But it doesn't work that
question.
way.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work that way with family, right? You only have one family, but those are the folks that are going to stick with you forever. So I hope that this message maybe reaches out to more people where, like, hey, you can work as hard as you want, but don't forget about your people and don't think that you can just make up for it later. Because I only have a 4-week-old and a 2-year-old, but the time has already flown by where I like cry at night when I see my 2-year-old and I'm like, why didn't I enjoy more time with you when you were one? So I love that you said that. And again, I hope more people resonate with that message and maybe take a step back and are like, okay, work is always like going to be here, but family isn't. Maybe I can spend a little bit more time with them. So thank you for bringing that up.
I don't know the studies, so someone should look it up. But the amount of time it has to have a deep relationship with someone is not just the quantity of time, it really is about the quality of time. And so there's two big points here. One is like my family, we were out in New York last week for, a family vacation. And I went out Saturday through Tuesday morning. My family stayed out there till Saturday. So they were out there a whole week. I came home Tuesday morning. And so you're like, well, so did I miss out on family vacation? And it's like, now my brother who was out there, he was on his phone while he was around his kids. I literally put my phone in my wife's purse so I don't look at it because I'm addicted to my phone just like the rest of us. So I have to remove it from me to say, like, for me to be like super, super intentional with my kids and to be there, like I have to remove that distraction. And so I honestly would believe that I had more time with my family on my 3-day vacation than most people have with their kids on a week-long vacation.
I love that.
Like, that's what I believe. I haven't done the study to be able to see it, but like, that is what I think is most important. Is like, don't come home and say you're a good dad because you're home. Come home and be home. Like,
Be a dad.
Be a dad. And so be there for conversations. Challenge your kids on what they're working on. Pass their problems back to them. Help them think through a problem. Have fun with them. Like, fight your kids. Like, help, like, beat you up. And do the things that help with those things. Now, I don't have girls. It might be different for you, Chris. But like, I'm teaching my boys to fight. I want them to be able to know how to be a man, but to control it. Because someone who's if they're going to grow up to be adults, it's not those that don't have anger. It's those that have the anger and emotions that fuel them, not the ones that don't have it at all. And I hope that I'm doing the best I can to make sure that happens.
Dude, it sounds like you're killing it.
Charles, what's up?
Please.
No, I want to ask. Sorry, Chris. But Woody, on that part of being purposeful, if there's a dad listening to this right now and they're working real hard, but the equation is completely out of balance, and they don't know how to get back to being purposeful. Their family vacations are simply just them being around their family, their spouse, their kids. What would you say, like, if there was a dad that's like, hey, I'm trying to figure out the next right step, as cliche as it might sound, right? Like, what would you tell them? Because I think all this sounds great, but it's clear that this has been something that you've been intentional about for some time. This doesn't just happen overnight. So how would you direct
Yeah.
a dad who's like, hey, I'm just trying to start?
I appreciate that, because the first thing is it is so hard. And I think that the phrase you said almost could bring tears to my eyes. The next right step. Like, we've all made mistakes in our life. And the time I've actually felt most loved by my wife is when she looked at me and she's like, well, you made the next right step. Like, you might have made 20,000 mistakes, but that last one wasn't bad. Like, you made the.
It was all right.
And so I think that phrase alone is something all of us should sink in is, can we make the next right step? And so with your kids are going to be different than mine. Your kids are going to need different things than my kids. And so one is just make sure that you just think about it and just kind of look like, what do they need? And if I am stressed out, I'm behind on my bills, I got I'm afraid I'm going to get fired. My wife is mad at me because we're behind on the mortgage. I'm not being a provider. I'm not being a protector. I have all these, all those stresses on me. One, give yourself a break. Like, life is hard. Being a dad is hard. I know that right now, like, men in the world aren't getting enough credit for all the crap that they're going through. Like, and I love that you guys are doing this. So hopefully someone out there can be able to hear, like, dude, you're killing it. You showed up. And so it's like, most dads don't even show up. There's times that, like, I didn't have, like, the best dad, but I know he did the best he could. And so, like, I have empathy for him, but, like, if you're trying to show up, you're better than most dads. So give yourself a break. That's the first thing.
Amen, bro. Come on.
So, and then Charles, I think it just goes to, what's one thing you can do that you can do that will help you be more present? It's like, I'm a grown ass adult and I literally put myself in timeout, putting my phone in my wife's purse. Like, that's almost embarrassing to be able to say, I don't have enough self-control. So, like, because I have whatever text messages, LinkedIn, like, all the things that are going through and the things I like that need to be taken care of, they're never going to stop. So I was like, well, let's see what happens. I put my wife, like, I had to give it up. Like, swallow your pride, realize you're doing a good job, and then just try one thing to be present. And if it starts off for 10 minutes, great. Then, like, don't try to do it all at once. Just do one thing. And the one thing will always lead to another thing.
Yeah. Dang, man, that was super powerful. That was a great question, Charles. My gosh, man, I'm about to hand you the sunglasses. That was fire. No, it was excellent advice. And I think that it would really resonate with a lot of dads in the community, shoot, including the three of us. Like, going back to what you said earlier, Woody, with imposter syndrome. And sometimes that's incremental. Like, I just earlier this afternoon, I felt imposter syndrome with some type of situation. Like, bro, how did I get myself, like, boots in the mud? What the hell am I doing? And so I think that's powerful. And it all kind of bridges back to the original comment that you made, which was, bro, be purposeful. And if you have that discipline and you have that intentionality and you're purposeful about your time and what your priorities are, like, that's really where the magic lies. So, dang, man, you get me on a soapbox here, bro. Come on.
All frazzled up.
Um,
All frazzled
yeah,
up on a
yeah, you
Tuesday
got
night.
me all, you give me the goosebumps. I ain't even said goodnight to my kids yet, bro.
Hey, real quick,
All
Chris, I
right.
want to add this because I want to add this real quick for imposter syndrome, because this is the one thing I've always resonated for myself. There are certain elements of who you are that only you can do or be, specifically as a dad, right? So when I talk to dads and they're like, "Hey, what's that next right step?" Think about the only thing that you can do in that kid's life or in your spouse's life. That's the next right thing. There's only elements that you can do And I think that's how I even think about imposter syndrome. There's only aspects of you that you, or those only things that you can do that make you you, that is beneficial to the rest of the people in your circle or in the platform that you're influencing people. So instead of thinking like, hey, am I enough? Start to reframe that and say, okay, well, there's only things I can do, right? Like no one else can do. Like even if it's the way I say something wrong, right? Like I still do that better than anyone else. And that's being me. And I think when you start to actually have that, like you're literally unique. There's no one else like you at all. Your quirks, like your strengths, your cons, your pros, all of that. There's nothing that, so when I tell my kids, I'm like, hey, like you're literally, there's no one like you. There's not one person on the world like you. Even that one person in the world that can hit that ball as bad as you did, right? Or as good as you did, right? Like you can go in and reframe everything, literally. Like there's nothing that there's no one else anyone can do. All your mistakes, all your flaws, all your strengths, those are still unique to you. There's no one else that has
And
that. And I love that part
That's
of it.
fire, man.
I think to that point, I think that's extremely powerful. And the tough thing in living in this modern world of technology, what are you talking about? LinkedIn and your phone's always blowing up. It stinks where like unfortunately we're so wrapped up and caught up in social media where I feel imposter syndrome kind of plays into is you see what everyone else is doing. You see all these lavish lifestyles, you see these people being a good dad in front of the camera, but dang well they're probably not all of them, but maybe not hanging out with their kids
A couple of
as
them.
purposeful, yeah, as purposeful as they're showing on YouTube and Instagram and whatever it is. And I think that has forced a lot of us to rewire our brains and think like, hey, maybe I'm not enough. But that's not the case because, well, to your point, if you're even remotely showing up, you're doing a lot better than most dads are doing. So I really hope that being able to do this is powerful enough that can just rewire someone's brain just a little bit to be able to think, see, to
Yeah.
your point, like, I am enough. Like, I am doing the best that I can. And it may not be this like crazy, extravagant, crazy lifestyle that I see on Instagram every single day, but it's my version of being enough. And it's my version of doing what I can, because at the end of the day, we can only control what we can control. So I'm so glad you brought that up. But I kind of am sick of social media in that sense and making it seem like
Yeah.
everyone's life is crazy, because that's not the truth. They're dealing with trenches at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Changing a diaper is changing a diaper. They just don't talk about it. But whatever.
No, for sure,
I
man.
feel a little attacked over here. Are you talking about my social media life?
Yo, Charles goes hard in the paint, baby. Are you kidding? It's not imposter syndrome. It's an imposter opportunity for my boy over here. And he's leaning into that opportunity. You kidding?
Just joking.
Look, all right. So we're at 40 minutes, but Woody, I would be remiss if I didn't pivot hard. You got three of the strongest sales hooligans in the game right now, from tech stacks to cold calls to living inside the pipeline. Talk to me about the inception of Ask Elephant. For those of you guys listening, obviously, like if you haven't heard of Ask Elephant, you're not doing enough on the platform. This is a sales solution AI model. It's taken the info from your CRM, it's taken the email from your pipeline and your data communications, and it's compiling it into a cohesive and effective, efficient solution for you to be able to drive and scale the train. Woody, talk to me about, dude, how the heck did this come about? And like, what are some of the things that you're focusing on right now, bro? We don't get to talk to a CEO of a premier sales tech stack frequently. Please, enlighten us, dude. Come on, this is special.
And Woody, real quick before you answer that question, my curiosity the entire time has been, you seem to be fairly reserved personality wise. What would you do if you got someone with the energy like Chris on a sales call? How would you respond to that energy? I'm just curious. I'm genuinely curious.
Don't
Like,
do it to me.
more of that? Do I need less of that?
Don't call me my phone's in my wife's bag.
Well, I'll start with yours. Yours is more fun to answer. I think the thing that Chris is doing well is like the whole point of sales is to transfer emotion to the other
Exactly.
person that you're hanging out with. And like, it almost drives me crazy. Our whole career, we're like, hey, we've gone into sales. We're trying to sell something, but that actually is 100% wrong. I really, really hope you're not selling anything. I hope you're helping
I hate
someone.
it. I hate selling, bro.
No, you guys are buysmen. You're helping someone buy. Your
Yeah.
job is to be able to connect with another human being who has another family, that has another life, that drives to work or doesn't, that puts their pants on one leg at a time, that is supposed to be going to the gym, supposed to be taking care of themselves. Guys, we're just freaking humans. That's like, none of us are special. We're like, because all of us are special. So it's like, we're all humans and we're all just doing our best. And so the thing that you have to do in sales is you have to be able to do a transfer of that confidence to help them progress their life. You want to know like what I believe? I believe that being a dad is just like being a salesman and just like being a sales leader. It's my job to be able to help people. Now, as a dad, they're born and raised by us to force us to kind of help them. And like, they kind of like do that.
They're a warm lead, if you
They're
will.
warm. But that is the goal and the mission of what all of us are trying to do, is we're trying to help people buy. And so the first thing that's I'd add, and Chris enthusiasm, like that makes me more excited just because he's talking. I feel good. And that's a big part of sales. And so keep doing it.
I love that. Thank you, Woody. Shoot, man. Come on. You didn't have to say all that. Charles,
Dang, I was
thank
gonna
you.
tell
Thank you for
him to
that, bro.
tone it down after this
Yeah,
meeting.
dude, no, Charles totally tuned me up, bro.
Oh no, I was ready
But
for
Woody,
you.
man, talk to me about Ask Elephant, bro. What are you guys working on right now? You got any little secret shops you can spill with us?
Yeah, we'll dive into it. So right before Ask Elephant, I built the go-to-market team for a company here in Utah called Divvy. We were lucky. We were one of we were special story. We went from 0 to $400 million in like 4 years. I started before, like when they had, it went like that. It was so quick, lightning in a bottle, but it's because there's a lot of things that we did right. It like, yes, luck was involved, but a lot of things had to go right. We had a very, very strong team, and we actually did not have a sales team. We had a revenue team because we started off with that was focused on like it was free, and we only made money as people used it, which was unique back in the day when we started that 6.5 years ago. It was like it was very, very special, and it actually taught me something that most companies don't do. They silo their sales team to a pipeline. That means that they only are thinking about the customer through prospect, through close one, when they're not even a customer. They're not even thinking they're thinking about the customer journey before they're even a real customer. They're just a prospect.
Damn.
So when I built Ask Elephant, it was because that amazing insight that we created where everything was de-siloed. The most important thing is your customer. And those conversations that start off with SDRs, that then go through sales, that then go through implementation, that then go through customer success, customer support, renewals, and those interactions with the customers, that's where there is so much magic. So Ask Elephant, the AI that never forgets, is capturing all of that information and then making so that you as a person can hire off anything that prevents you as a human to talk to another human. It's our job to talk to humans. That's it, nothing else. So managing a pipeline, what is that? That's not talking to humans. That's doing data work. How is that actually our superpower?
Dang,
like our
dude.
superpower is being overhyped about something. That's where it all started, was like, okay, there's these new technologies that are coming out. And luckily, like a big portion of Divvy went over to Jasper AI, like one of the first $1 billion companies. Mm-hmm. And so like all of my engineers, my co-founder was there, like AI was introduced to us quick. So we got a little bit of a head start before GPT was launched, before these things were there, because we watched the companies that were using it before the world was using it.
Fire.
And so because of that insight, that was like, oh my gosh, like AI, the ability of that AI is going to provide makes it so that we can double down on human connection and hire out AI to remove anything that's preventing that or unlock things that we never could do before. And so starting off with those basic insights. So Ask Elephant is an AI orchestration platform that you hire AI agents to do some of these things. My favorite one is like a deal intervention agent that's monitoring a deal as it's progressing. And if anything's going south, it messages the manager and says, hey, manager, like Charles, Chris didn't quite handle this objection correctly. This is how you can go in and help take care of the customer and coach Chris. So now what is the manager doing? Are they doing a pipe review or trying to do some bullshit that's not actually coaching Chris? No.
Yeah.
Like that, how many of us are like babysitters of data where it's like, if it's not in Salesforce, it never happened. Go put your crap in there. Like, it's not helping them be better humans.
Dang, man.
That's where Ask Elephants stepped in, and it's made a huge impact.
Dude, as a supervisor, that's fun. Like, to be able to have a trigger alert to go, hey, your boy needs a quick coaching session on this specific example. It just occurred. Like, that's kind of the weight of your ability to be able to supervise and monitor a successful team. And kind of what resonated with me, Woody, is, and let me ask, it sounds like this is just as much of a sales tool as it could provide tremendous benefit to like a client success department with tenured clients, but you're trying to remember what Joe, who you've been with and a partner with for the last 3 years, said 3 years ago, so that you can integrate that into expansion or upsell or just really satisfactory support. Like, it sounds like it's a bilateral product where it's fulfilling all of the forward facing departments and not just, hey, sign the contract, get the sale, and let's get the hell out of here.
So about 40% of our users are post-sales.
Bingo.
So it's,
right?
We care about the customer journey and like the jobs to be done. We do break them out. We onboard the team separately, but I imagine as a renewal rep that you can set it up to decide. But let's say it's a half hour before you're about to meet with a client. The AI reviews every transcript, every email, every support ticket, every insight, and then says, hey, Chris, Woody signed up for these reasons, but he did have a problem with these reasons. So when you're jumping on to talk about renewals, make sure you validate this, and then you can guide him.
Come
Game
on,
changer.
bro.
I'm gonna
Come on.
off topic. We could talk about this later. I'm gonna chat with our RevOps team tomorrow and see if we can get on the demo because I think we could benefit from this.
Unintentional, but I'm like, you spin the game. I told you, we got 3 sales lunatics on, and we live in the tech stack world. That's fire, bro. That's fire, man.
This one is for the sellers out there. My sales team has never created a contact in our HubSpot. They've never created a deal. They've never created a company. They've never changed a sales stage. They've never updated a forecast number. And it's more accurate than yours is.
I did all that today.
Me too. So is it taking a transcript or whatever and like through an algorithm moving it in your CRM for you?
It doesn't just do the transcript, anything on the email, anything on the internet. Like, it just is analyzing it before a call and then after the call. So it like uses your calendar.
Are you integrated with any like call recording companies already? Is that a play that you guys are doing right now, or kind of what? Am I okay?
So we're note taker agnostic. But someone said they would cancel Gong if we built it. So over the weekend we built one. So we also have our own. So you can use ours or someone else's. We don't care.
Let's go. I'm not gonna get into it, but I've been enjoying the back and forth with.
I'm gonna ping you tomorrow,
bro. I'm not gonna, but I'm here for the ride, bro. I'm eating popcorn, seeing what's going on.
That was such a mic drop. It's like, yeah, someone said it, so we did it.
So we built it last weekend, 48 hours live. Let's go. Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. I love it.
8% of our customers have chosen to cancel their other data capture tool, note taker type of tool.
Okay.
You can record conversations from your mobile device. So you're in person, you can record those conversations. You can record so the mobile app is always on. You have the desktop tool, you have the Chrome tool, you have a bot that can record everything. So I think that's like the part from us from sales, we see it. So yes, can literally go back to back to back to back, and the customer never knows that I didn't prepare because I'm always prepared. Because AI,
Yeah.
it knows everything. It knows what I want. It tells me what I want, when I want, how I want.
That's
But
so
the
fire.
big thing is once it has all this data, think about how much your product team has just wanted the voice of the customer, but they never had a way to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we have an agent that you hire to make sure it's updating your product team. So that way that your product team, my product team has more customer feedback, and like all of our customers, their product team has more insights than anyone else does because they're the elephants in the room, and it's literally listening for what they.
That's sick.
There
So
it is.
dope.
There it
And
is.
I've heard you sprinkle in like elephant this, like listening to that, like remembering this, and that's sick. Like
Bro,
you've been
the
dropping them subtly through the
elephants in
conversation.
the room. You can put
Yeah.
it on a t-shirt, buddy. Are you kidding me, man? Dude. All right. So look, we blew past time restraints. I apologize if I'm taking away from anybody's time, but to be fair, you can't put 3 sales hooligans in a room with the CEO of a premier sales tech stack and we don't get into the weeds. But with that being said, for my Dadgood community, this has been my boy Woody. He is the CEO, founder of Ask Elephant. If you want to ask about it, find him on LinkedIn. We'll make sure we plug all of his contact info. Trust me, this dude is a wealth of knowledge. We couldn't be more stoked to get the opportunity to sit down with you. And my man, with that being said, thank you for popping on to Dadgood Community Spotlight. You really are kind of the vessel of inspiration, I'm sure, for a lot of the younger fathers here dealing with weeks old, months old, early stages. Like you've kind of lived that whole threshold while still remaining to be a tremendously successful businessman. And that's kind of what we're in the game for. We're all trying to get a little extra coin for our back pocket. So all things in between, my dude. Woody, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us for a little bit, my brother.
It's a pleasure, guys.
Thanks,
Hell
Woody.
yeah, dude. With that being said, we'll see you guys on the other side. New episodes released every Friday, and that's a wrap. Cheers, Dadgood. See you guys.
See ya.